Let's head over to the heart of Texas. Massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, in Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction of the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend, sets all the line calls, and blocks so aggressively.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds him. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
An early test. 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive. Couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
Let's see what you got.
Prescott now from the 50. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Check 45 to Mike. Squeeze, double.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the 1st down at around the 22. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. And Forbath will put this one through, and the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall pick in the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
And they said he would be a gym rat coming out of Boston College, and nothing has changed, and his play continues to get better as he rallies his team.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. And here's the offense now. Charles, who's the guy you chose to highlight?
The tone setter, the guy in the middle, Alex Mack. His return, never good for the opposition.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Robert Quinn gets to the quarterback as well as any defensive end in the league. A lot of it goes back to his high school wrestling background. He understands leverage and hands as well as anyone.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a 1st. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards is the pickup, good for a first down for the Falcons.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And the catch is made by Justin Hardy. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Complete to Jones. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now it's Ryan. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. So with 4th down looming, Dan Quinn sends out his field goal unit. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll pull it down. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 36. On the counter, Elliott, nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. And here now the defensive starters for Atlanta.
Many people thought Keanu Neal was overdrafted by Atlanta, but they saw his talents and knew that he would fit their scheme perfectly. A hybrid player, can play deep in the secondary as a safety, can drop down into the box and also make a lot of tackles, and at times can stay on the field and serve a linebacker role as well.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. What do you think? What do you think?
Now Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd. Prescott from the gun. He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big run there by Freeman, and even 50 yards on the ground. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Here's Ryan. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. The tank DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. A nice job to get 11 out of that pass play, but now they face a 3rd and goal.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. Now it's Ryan. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper there to make the grab. And the Falcons have taken the lead. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. A drive there of just 4 plays, and the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously, the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
2nd and 5 now. Prescott, he's going to take off with it. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Elliott. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Pass on target, Prescott to Cooper. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Go on.
On 1st down, it's Elliott. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run the counter. Elliott. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Let's go.
And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's 2nd down. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Prescott, and that's Elliott, complete. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Prescott. Steps away. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Elliott. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Draw play. Elliott. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
We got this.
A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch, and the Cowboys have retaken the lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Kai Forbath on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the shotgun, Ryan. He's got Hooper on the short connection. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. Oh, nice move. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. And an alley to run. He'll try and run it. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. Here it's 3rd and 3. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Kenyon Barner, deep for Atlanta. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Ryan now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you? On
On second down, it's Freeman, and he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Ryan now, only 1 pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. The tackle by Robert Quinn.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Ryan gets it off to Freeman. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Ryan. That's complete to Smith. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will knot us up at 10. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Elliott on first down, going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10.
I'm letting you know right now, you better.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Check. Here we go. 40. Check. 45. Come on. Here we go. Here we go.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line.
Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
Into his end zone. He completes this to Russell Gage. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. To throw again is Ryan. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons. Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Ryan will throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And some space here. 20. A gain of 37.
Keep playing.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And his kick here is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So we will not go into the lockers tied. We do have a leader in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Yeah, it's only 3 points. Doesn't seem like much, but it looms big the way that they got it done right before the half ended.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Godden.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Freeman again. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Here's Austin. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Looking sideline, incomplete. Blake Jarwin, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. Oh, the Falcons fly in and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons push further out in front.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Well, not only did they block it, the awareness to go and grab it and then take it into the end zone for 6 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. Room here to run. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
And heading back out there now, the Falcons defense here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Prescott. And his throw is incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Prescott. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards the pickup there.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Prescott on 1st down. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
They'll run with Elliott, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Taking it in from 4 yards out, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Forbath to add the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
All day, every day, any day.
To throw is Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run. Devontae Freeman. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Ryan to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he's going to go down again. DeMarcus Lawrence able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards there and a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Hey, tighten down, there you go.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now a play fake here on first down. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On 3rd down, Ryan. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Here's Matt Bosher now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And out now come the Cowboys. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That sack was by Isaiah Oliver from his cornerback position.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Cooper's got it. The 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper, 78 yards. And the Cowboys have once again taken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Now Forbath for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Matt Ryan and the Falcon offense set to get going again. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the third quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the Surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
And we'll see. Maybe he just needs a couple orange slices here for this drive. This is Freeman. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now Austin. He won't go down. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Amari Cooper and the Cowboys set to take over once again. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Play action now. Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's a 1st down and then some. A 32-yard pickup.
That's a real nice job right there. Working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
You get block me. You get block me.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 3rd down, Elliott. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And it's a fake. He's going to throw it. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. From the gun, Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Here's Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Ryan now off the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Play fake. Here's Prescott. They'll roll him, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Throwing, Prescott. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
That's trash. That's trash.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. The give is to Elliott. Call it a 6-yard gain. Still plenty of work to do coming up. 3rd and 14. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
To throw is Prescott, sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down and a 21-yard gain.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Mike, 45. Don't get nervous.
Prescott now from the 50. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Prescott. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Now Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Only a yard on the 3rd down throw, and that leads to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And this one is right down Broadway. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position. But it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with a late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come.
Here's Ryan. It's hauled in by Hardy. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 1st down, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw again on 2nd down. Ryan, he's going to have the hook up to Gage. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Ryan leaves with Freeman on the draw. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
A 20th carry now for Devontae Freeman. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. They're on 3rd down. The Cowboys bringing an extra defensive back. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And his kick is indeed good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, we get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. He's north of 150 yards in this game. He's been doing his thing, hasn't he?
That he has, and he's been enjoying himself. And it's the type of game that you get locked into a pretty good groove. May not be record-shattering, but it's the type of game that if you accumulate that throughout a season, you're going to be one of the top receivers in the game.
See how much they incorporate him here on this drive. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Prescott now, complete to Jason Witten. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
Stop your whining.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
4 down, 4 down.
This is Elliott. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Elliott. That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Now Elliott. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.